Hello, friends, and welcome back to Hurry Stories. Today's first story comes from the r/mark narrations from subreddit. It was posted by Belor_Maris on 4D ago and was titled, "Did I overstep by getting involved in my partner's conflict with his best friend? I need some outside perspective before a conversation we're having tomorrow. I apologize in advance if I make mistakes, as English is not my primary language. All the names have been changed, except for Mark's because I love Mark's reaction to seeing his name in stories. Don't worry, the one in this story is just quoted for context. Our friend group has known each other for many years. We're all in our early to mid-30s. The core of the situation mainly involves three couples, my partner Adam, 35, and me, 34F, Ryan and Emma, and Nick and Laura, all early 30s. There are other friends around, but these are the main people involved. Adam and I have been together for 5 years now, but the others have been together for over a decade, so I'm the last one coming in. Recently, something has changed between Adam and Ryan, who used to be very close friends. For years, they would regularly play video games together. It was their way of catching up, relaxing, and staying connected. At some point, Ryan met two other guys online, Tom and Mark, and they started playing together as a group. At first, that seemed fine. But over time, Ryan got much closer to them and gradually stopped including Adam. Now the situation is strange. Ryan almost never joins voice chat with Adam anymore. Whether Adam logs in first or not, Ryan will almost always go straight to a voice channel with Tom and Mark instead. He rarely messages Adam unless Adam reaches out first, doesn't invite him to play anymore, and generally seems unavailable. Yet he is on Discord with the other two almost every day. The confusing part is that socially, everything seems normal. We're still invited to group gatherings. When we see Ryan in person, he and Adam talk normally and get along. Ryan has even said things like he considers Adam such a close friend that he would want him as a witness at his wedding. But despite that, the distance is clearly there. Adam has asked him directly several times if something was wrong or if he had done something. Ryan always says everything is fine. About a month ago, we had a group dinner. Adam decided to try gently reconnecting. A little context. Shortly before the distance started, Ryan and his new gaming friends had begun playing a game called Helldivers. Adam wasn't very interested at first, but Ryan insisted, so Adam bought it so they could play together. They played once as a group, and everything went fine. Then Ryan basically disappeared from Adam's radar after that. We could only know he was alive and well because we saw his name almost daily on Discord, playing with the other friends. During this same period, Adam was already going through a difficult time personally, and seeing his best friend slowly distance himself hurt him a lot. Still, he didn't want to be pushy, so he only sent occasional messages to check in. So, during the dinner, Adam suggested they could maybe play Helldivers again sometime. Ryan laughed loudly and said something along the lines of, "Well, if you're still on that game, we're definitely not playing together anytime soon." Then he got up and went to do something else. Adam was visibly hurt. Later he tried again and said he missed playing together, that even if it wasn't Helldivers, they could find something else. Ryan replied something like, "Yeah, but right now I'm obsessed with another game with the guys. I don't want to make you buy another game since I know you don't like jumping between games. Maybe someday if I log on, the others aren't there and I don't feel like playing alone, then maybe we could play something." The painful part is that this dinner was also on Adam's birthday. He kept it together during the evening, but he was devastated afterward. It might sound childish, but he really values small gestures like a candle or people singing happy birthday. None of that happened, but he did get presents. They told us they actually realized it was his birthday after sending the time of the party, so they didn't have too much time to look for presents. Adam was still grateful for the gifts, so he tried not to be upset because of the candles and song. At the same time, the evening wasn't great for me either. Another couple in the group is Nick and Laura. They've been together about 15 years, have one child, and are expecting another. Laura has ADHD, diagnosed and treated. For years, people in the group have told me that she can come across as blunt or rude because of it, and that confronting her would just create unnecessary conflict. But over time, her behavior toward me has felt increasingly disrespectful. Just for some rapid context, I have been very, very close with Emma since I came into the picture of this friend group. We even did girls' nights, Most of the time, just the two of us, but we did go out with Laura too. Not that we didn't want to invite her, but it mostly happened when Emma was being sad, and I came to comfort her because we lived closer to each other, and Laura was being very distant at this time and not wanting to go out too much, which we understood. That dynamic drastically changed when Emma and Ryan bought their house farther away than they were before. The same distance that grew between Adam and Ryan grew between Emma and me, but she really had much on her mind at this time, so I didn't think much of it and never said anything. So coming back to Laura, her behavior grew worse over the years, often repeatedly interrupting me, rolling her eyes when I spoke, even when answering questions she had asked me herself. And all of this happened this night too. Adam even saw it. She wouldn't respond to my messages, and before I sent her the DM that I talk about later in the post, hadn't even opened them since 2024. At one point when talking about wedding stuff, I showed them my Pax ring for context. In France, a Pax is a legal civil partnership somewhat similar to marriage. Laura glared at me, full-on shooting dagger style, and Emma gave a lukewarm, "Oh, it's pretty." And then they immediately started talking to each other about something else. Another important detail, my partner and I recently traveled to Reunion Island, which is where I'm originally from. It was Adam's first big trip and it meant a lot to him. He was really excited to tell our friends about it, but no one asked us anything about the trip. I tried talking a bit about some things, but the conversations never went there, so we just stopped trying. Later in the evening, Laura was complaining about the medical staff during her first pregnancy. I jokingly said she could always give birth near my father's place in Reunion Island because the medical infrastructure there is actually excellent. She reacted very aggressively, asking what I was implying and saying she wouldn't trust the healthcare there, which honestly felt insulting considering my island is a fully developed French region with excellent hospitals. She was getting more and more agitated, so I decided to adjust the subject by asking her how her trip in London and the proposition went. Nick proposed to her there at the end of 2025. I don't know if I said it before, and it was then that she calmed down and eased. She was pleased to tell me everything about it. I was honestly curious and wanted to ask her anyway, but the fact that it happened this way made it sour somehow. By the end of the evening, both Adam and I felt completely out of place. When we got home, Adam broke down crying. He was that hurt. The following Monday, Emma sent me a completely normal message. I was still extremely upset and initially wrote a very harsh response. I deleted it after sending it. It was on Messenger. But she saw the notification and asked what it was. Instead, I sent a long voice message trying to explain everything calmly, how hurt Adam was, what Ryan had said at the dinner, and how excluded we both felt. But when came the part when I told her what Ryan said, out of anger, I said something like, "Fuck you. What are we exactly, your backup friends?" We say bouche-trou in French, which translates to hole filling, and I don't find how to accurately translate it other than backup because it doesn't feel rude enough, but then you would have to, pardon my French. Yeah, I suck at jokes. I calmed down toward the end of the message and tried to explain things more rationally. Separately, I also sent Laura a short and calm message saying that we both clearly knew we weren't close and maybe it would be better if we stopped pretending to be friends. I suggested we simply remain polite in group settings rather than forcing one-on-one hangouts. She reacted very badly, and the conversation escalated on her end because I stayed very calm. She criticized my parenting, bringing up a moment during her son's baptism where she said I wasn't watching my child closely enough, despite the fact that she herself had taken the kids to activities. Eventually, she told me, "You're not crazy, but you're right about one thing. You're not my friend, and you never were." After all this, most of the group is now angry with me. My partner fully supports me. He says people in the group simply aren't used to someone speaking openly about problems, and that no one ever challenges Laura. Emma also told me something that made me question myself, though. She said I should never have gotten involved in the issue between Ryan and Adam. According to her, even if Adam was hurt, it wasn't my place to talk about it. She gave an example from her own relationship. After a car accident, Ryan spent 6 months stuck at home and became very depressed. She said she watched him struggle but didn't tell anyone because he asked her not to. Her point was that sometimes in a relationship you see your partner hurting, but you respect their boundaries and don't interfere in things that don't concern you. I understand that perspective, but I'm not sure I fully agree. Now, the four of us, Ryan, Emma, and us, are meeting tomorrow in a neutral place to talk things out. Nick and Adam already had a conversation, and Adam went alone at a party with all of them plus another couple tonight. I didn't want to go, and neither did he originally, but he hasn't seen his other friends for a long time and misses them. He is currently there, and we don't text because I don't want to be overbearing and spoil his moment. Not that texting him would spoil anything, but if he's having a good time, I'd rather not reminding him of the issue, and he will tell me what went on when he comes back home anyway. From the group's perspective, I apparently overreacted and blew up a small issue into a big conflict. So, I'd really appreciate honest outside opinions. Did I overstep by involving myself in the situation between my partner and his friend? I guess I should take a step back a bit, but I don't know if it's because I'm outnumbered and their words are getting in my head, or if I really believe that. Okay, friends. So, that concludes our first story of the day. Next up, we have a story from our /relationships from subreddit. It was posted by Educational Cause 1286 7 hours ago and was titled, "Am I reacting too much to my boyfriend just sending me a text for my birthday? My boyfriend, M, mid-20s, and I, F, early 20s, have been together for almost 3.5 years. We live separately. We love each other very much. Though I had a birthday and I did not receive a birthday card when I visited a day after, a card with a sweet message is something I've always communicated over the years I love, and I keep my cards. I love words and sentimental gestures, nothing more or less. On the other hand, he was thinking about getting a birthday card this year but forgot. Even after mentioning a calendar event for my birthday. I understand seeing this and going, it's just a piece of cardstock. It's a bit deeper than that. He gave me a phenomenal card for our anniversary 2 years ago that I love and cherish, but up to date, I am still consistently doing things that I know makes him feel loved and appreciated in the relationship, and I feel I wasn't worth remembering a simple card for after I've voiced appreciation for this. For understanding, because of how I was raised, I primarily show love through actions, cooking, cleaning, helping with tasks/laundry, getting things for special holidays, etc. Basically, I don't need reminders to consistently show love and appreciation for being together. Around this time, he had ample time for gaming, discussed a few purchases he's made for himself the past couple of weeks, and I am frustrated because a card is so low effort and cheap and would have made me the happiest for the rest of the month. I want to make it very clear this is not about receiving a gift per se, and absolutely nothing monetary. Just being thought of and shown appreciation. His response after I exclaimed he basically forgot about my birthday, and when I asked about him forgetting a card, basically, when's the last time you read your XDH birthday card? As if the present joy would be meaningless. In that same regard, why buy flowers for people to enjoy if they're just going to die? I did not forget your birthday, I texted you at midnight. Basically a text message for my birthday, not even like the other 10+ ones I received, which is hilarious because even those were longer drawn-out messages too. No phone call. It won't happen again. And this is why I am looking for some external feedback that I'm not being crazy and ungrateful. If I keep raising this with him, I'm afraid it'll escalate into an argument and a "what do you want me to do about it now" situation. I can't talk to any close friends I confide in at all. A couple of years ago, there was a physical incident involving another girl that he didn't walk away from until shit got bad. She basically tested how much she could get away with and only got so far with him, and he still didn't say anything to me about that situation for self-centered reasons pertaining to the relationship. So my close friends are just inherently biased about him as a man, and I can't say anything to them. I was borderline pressured / convinced I needed to break up with him, or I'll be miserable for the rest of my life. Following that, and now with something so minor, I feel like I have no one to talk to about how I'm fully feeling about this without revisiting haunting thoughts. It's hard to admit I'm overreacting when I look at the fuller picture of this. I absolutely won't disregard any positives. We had a wonderful Valentine's Day dinner recently, occasionally spending time with each other / hanging out, and I love him deeply. In the first years together, we'd also just go out for drinks on my birthday, and even that would have been nice. I started getting torn up about this more when I was sitting here doing laundry to make sure he's good and not inconvenienced, and I, as a partner, Wasn't worth even remembering / setting a reminder for a birthday card. It almost makes me not even want to keep doing too much. I am starting to question what this will look like if I'm already doing as much as my capacity and finances allow me, while he forgets very low-stake basic things. We discuss spending the rest of our lives together, and I just worry if in the near future I'll be making bigger sacrifices while he overlooks basic gestures. Is it just on me that I am not overtly expressing needs about how a card for this day would have made me feel? Or am I justified in thinking it's insane that my BF of years would think I'd be satisfied that he had a thought about something he didn't carry out and just shot me a text message on my birthday when I show him how much I care? I would also like to add, he does not normally celebrate birthdays or like his own very much, understandably, due to some life-changing and traumatic occurrences on and around this day. I still make an effort to do something special or get something he likes to make it feel like a little less weight, and he knows cards are my thing. Even though his birthday is now a very sore spot for me, I still make that effort. I have made comments that I don't care too much for my birthday. However, I've always emphasized and mentioned how people made it special and how I get excited leading to the very day. I didn't expect anything. It just hurts that people I do for / have done less for have done more for my birthday, even though I do all things out of love and not for reciprocation. It's even about a gift, but just a deeply sentimental form of love that I feel I'm missing. I always say the grass is greener when you water it and comparison is the thief of joy, but I think it just makes me feel worse seeing and hearing people I know discussing their partners doing super thoughtful and sweet small gestures regardless of a special day, and especially on a special day. I would love those little things over anything, and I only expected it on my birthday. Although I do not think much about it and love what works for them, I personally know they do significantly less in their relationships than I do, and it's crazy that out of this I got a forgotten idea for my birthday. I wasn't surrounded by the best relationships growing up and can be a bit self-sacrificing to a fault, and I'm working on it, but I do wonder if my own behavior that just contributed to this dynamic, and it's my fault he could forget something so simple. It just makes me feel like a safe person even though he loves me, or like things are done out of pressure during certain times / image, and I'm just not worth remembering something so basic. It's hard to feel like I'm being dramatic when I ask for so little.
I am so sad.